Mz-Parkah is on right now.
Welcome to the Mz-Parkah Show. It is a blessing in its own right to go live today. This is my first episode. I am planting great seeds for Mz-Parkah, not ER, but AH. So anytime you think about Mz-Parkah, think about K. I have Lawrence. Lawrence, say hi. I don't know if Lawrence can hear me, but Lawrence is my IT guru.
Sorry. Hello, everybody. I was on mute.
He is the IT. He is the IT guru, like showing up. That's who he is to me. So he's going to be monitoring the calls as they come in. When we put the number in the live stream in the comment section, you guys can dial in. I'm really not going to have phone calls until about 8:40, 8:45 when Sookie gets done having his conversations and the back and forth, and we set the tone for the conversation with you guys. And you guys can interact. You can go ahead and I'm streaming on YouTube, IG, Facebook right now. So if you guys want to, you can put it in the chat. Is it anything in the chat? I want to be able to talk about some things until Sookie gets on. Sookie will be on in the next few minutes, guys. Who we got on the call?
Hi, Mommy. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Love Bug. I can't see nothing. All I can see is the screen with a bunch of numbers on it, but I appreciate you, Love Bug. Taylor.
You sound good.
Thank you. I look good too, girl.
You look good too, girl, always. I got Lele right here.
Okay, Lele. I can't hear you, Lele.
Say it louder, baby.
Congratulations,
Thank you, Stings. You got something else for me? She's scared.
Yeah.
What you say? You gonna say a prayer for Nene? Say a prayer for Grandma.
You can do all things you.
I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Okay, that's the best prayer right there. Thank you, Boo Boo. See you later. Oh, we got another caller.
Hey, Auntie Shell.
Hey. Who's this?
How you doing? This Kiki. Congratulations.
Thank you, Boo. Thank you for calling me, love. I appreciate it.
Hey, Auntie Shell.
What's up, man?
Hey, y'all.
We got two callers.
Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go, okay? I got another call coming in, okay?
Okay, love you.
Love you too, baby. Thank you for calling, TT. Hello.
Hi, this is Mom. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mommy.
You can't read the messages that's coming across down the boho.
No, not on my screen, Mom. We got to work that out. It just went out before we started. It just went out. So we trying to wing it as much as we can for the first episode. But it's okay. We'll get through it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mom.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Mz-Parkah.
Hey, boo.
Congratulations.
Thank you, love.
You do know when you're dealing with adversity, affection comes at the end, right?
Absolutely. It's not going to go any other way.
Absolutely. Love you.
I love you too, love.
There we go. I'm going to hang up the phone.
You still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I got my headphones in there.
Okay. So
What's up?
what's up, Sook? So I wanted, so everybody, I do have Sookie-Son The Professor on the show right now. I am so honored to have you on my show, Sook. I am so happy for you to be on my show. I am so happy. You know, this is my first launch, so I'm planting great seeds. So the conversation with you today is that seed that needs to be planted so it can be cultivated, right? And produce just great fruits, right? So I just wanted to let my guests know that Sookie is really known on social media platforms. So if you guys, Google him as far as like on IG, Facebook, I think he's on TikTok. You guys can put in Sookie-Son The Professor. We can put his information in the chat, and please do, guys, give him a follow because Sookie is the man on the show. On the show. Sookie, I asked you to be on my show because of the content that you create.
Okay.
And I'm very impressed with the content that you create, especially for the Gen X world, right? We are in an age where dating and all these different type of relationships are kind of different than what it was, right? We are in more of a quick kind of relationship status. But I wanted to go into who you are as a content creator. I know you have 3 degrees. You're getting your doctorate. Wow, right?
Yeah.
You're getting your doctorate degree. And I want to know from you, one, the degrees that you do have and how will those degrees kind of roll into your style of content creating on social media.
First, my name is Yusef. Sookie was my mother. So as far as the degrees, how they go into, well, there's a lot of psychology and relationships, you know. But to be honest with you, I never even think about that. I never think about those degrees when I'm speaking. I don't know if it's something that if you take in a certain amount of information over a certain amount of time, I guess at some point it just becomes your conditioning. But I don't think about those degrees at all. So yeah, I'm in my residency now. I went through. But first, let me say that I got my bachelor's, and I entered school after not being in school for like 25 years with a GED from a juvenile facility. I never made it past 7th grade. So, that was a huge feat for me, you know what I'm saying, to be able to walk into a school. I was more nervous about walking into a college than I was the county jail, so that was huge for me. And I carried it with a 4.0 and gave the invocation speech for my entire class. So that was huge. I think that probably was the biggest thing for me so far, outside of having my children. Yeah, that was big.
That's great. So I can call you Yusef. But my thing is with that, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We can go into relationships, but we can go into the level of consistency. There's a blessing in being consistent and pursuing a dream and a goal. And for you to have done what you did, that just speaks loudly to a lot of different generations out there who are stuck in culturally diverse situations where they don't feel that they can, kind of maneuver through, their circumstances. And your circumstances shouldn't define your goal and your dreams in the end. So I do applaud you for that. I did not know that part about you.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that about you. And as you said, it's a lot of psychology. Are you using those when you do your content? Are you relating a lot of that from what, your background in your studies? And because your content really has you kind of self-identify, kind of heal, make people look at themselves from a different perspective, accountability, basically. So with those degree, your psychology degrees really kind of translate into what you do as a content creator.
I mean, well, I'm not healed. I don't know where people get that impression from, but I'm not totally healed. I don't think no human being is totally healed. So, healing is a process. That's a process. So no human being is totally healed. Am I on a healing journey? I think everybody is. I think everybody, on some level is on a healing journey. Some people at one end of the spectrum, and some people might be closer to the other, but we all on the same healing journey.
Do you believe that it's a lot of gaslighting in relationships now?
I'm really tired of the word gaslighting. I'm tired of it. Listen, I hear about gaslighting more online than I do in my PhD program. Like gaslighting, narcissistic, what's the other one? Oh, narrative. Everybody's I'm tired of them 3 words. I don't want, but to be honest with you though, I feel like yeah, I feel like there's a lot of gaslighting. I feel like it's like one of the if somebody is a very manipulative person, that's probably going to be their go-to tool, because the gaslighting makes you question yourself. The gaslighting, it brings down your self-esteem because you no longer trust your gut anymore. You no longer trust what you see. So yeah, I think there's a lot of gaslighting that goes on based on the divorce rates. I would say, yeah.
I agree. I mean, the term has come up a lot in especially in this generation. That's why I'm asking. I'm asking, like, you don't even know whether to take a compliment now, right? I don't know whether to say, if you say, "Oh, you beautiful, you gorgeous," you're like, "Is he gaslighting me?" Everything is a double question of, we taking away from the reality of just giving, normal compliments or normal relationships. It's a little different.
I think people got to understand where gaslighting came from. Gaslighting came from, a man who was telling a woman that she didn't smell something, or that something wasn't going on, and it was. So gaslighting is me. Gaslighting. It has nothing to do with a compliment. If somebody stopped me on the street and be like, "Yo, I think you're handsome," there's no gaslighting in that. Gaslighting is this. Gaslighting is me and you being in a relationship, and you look down at my phone and you see a text from a woman and she's saying something explicit in there. And then I look you dead in your face after you put the phone down. You say, "Well, what was that?" I erase the text message and I look at you and be like, "No, that was my boss." Be like, "That wasn't your boss. I didn't know your boss was a female." "Yeah, well, that was the boss's assistant." "Well, why was she writing this?" "No, that's not what you read. That wasn't that." "Well, let's look at it again. It's not there no more, but I'm telling you, that's not what that was." All night long, now you're questioning yourself. Did I just see that? Or am I tripping? That's what gaslighting is. And I think people got to understand that. And another thing is, man, I don't want to switch topics.
Go ahead and switch
But
it.
as far as people calling people, everybody you didn't get along with is not a narcissist, man. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, if you have content, if you put, "I just bought a new robe," or "I got anything," and you post that online, that's a narcissistic tendency. Did you think that thousands of people want to see what you ate this morning? But there's a difference between having narcissistic tendencies and having narcissistic personality disorder. People are out here diagnosing people, and they're not professionals. Everybody you don't get along with, or everybody that you share a difference in opinion with, is not a narcissist. Right. And and if you're not in a situation where someone is making you question your perception of something or question the experience, that's not gaslighting. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So I think this generation, I think that this era right here is I don't know where them 3 words came from: narrative, gaslighting, and narcissist. But people overuse them because they don't read. And it's so much easier to go grab memes and just start running with that. And then it helps you with self-justification. If you've been a horrible woman, you know what I noticed?
What you notice?
Let me tell you something. Women use that word narcissist more than anybody. Women will call a man a narcissist if he says, "Hey, I don't like what you got on." He's a narcissist. No, that's not a narcissist. You understand what I'm saying? He's not belittling you. He's not making you feel like that he's bigger than you, or that you're minute. That's not that. You understand what I'm saying? People, some of the people that are using this word could be narcissists themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a narcissistic tendency as well, is to project things right on back onto you. So watch people who overuse that word, because most times they're deflecting and they're projecting.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? 80% of the people you see online using that word are women. You rarely hear men using the word narcissist.
Well, I think right now when we look at relationships, and we look at how people are dating. You know, we have to redefine what relationships are again. You know what I'm saying, Yusef?
No, you want to get off that topic about women overusing the word narcissist.
No,
Yeah, you want to get off that.
No.
No, we're not going to get off that.
No.
Here's the thing.
No.
Listen to me.
No. Because look, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Because to me, I'm not defending the fact that we may overuse the word, but
No, it's not may.
No. Because you have some now. Let's go there. You have some people. You have some men who do have certain tendencies, and it may be a little thing where it's a little PTSD, but they do exemplify some type of behavior in a relationship. Let's be honest.
It takes 12 for you to say that this is a narcissist. You can't grab 3 or 4 things out of that and say this person is a narcissist.
No, I didn't say
anybody can.
Right.
That means that anybody can be a narcissist on any given day, depending on what you're going through.
Absolutely.
Where you're at in life.
Because the term is general, right? It can be used either way. I get it, but I'm saying that when we think about relationships,
what
right?
about them?
And we think about, that's why I was asking you about the behaviors in relationships. Like, have you noticed, like, when you talk about the Amazon cart, you want to elaborate on the Amazon cart?
When I talk about the Amazon cart, and then we're going to go back to that.
Okay, go ahead. Because I'm going to tie it into that.
The Amazon cart, to me, is saying that, because men like variety, right? It's just in our nature to conquer. That's who we are. Now, that's not to say that no man can be, faithful to one woman, because you're looking at one. You understand what I'm saying? I was married for 20 years. We never had a conversation about another woman, not once. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not to say that, but if you're dealing with a man and he has a woman coming over and she's, giving him head, you got another one coming over to bend over for him, you got another one come over to cook, one coming over to clean, one come over to, help, just help him out with business and this, that, and the third, then at the end of the day, that's where you are. You in the Amazon cart. You're not, it's like, okay, I may choose you one day or I may not.
You was just saying that women, we need to be careful, right?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of men don't expose that side. They don't. They don't come and say, hey, I got a variety. Hey, I like a variety. A lot of men don't. A lot of men put you in that cart. You don't even know you're in the cart. And I think that's why you did the content, to let women know, hey, you might want to make sure that you're not part of the Amazon cart, right? You have to ask certain questions, because we in the generation now, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest. People are not just transparent with what they want. You know what I'm saying? You could just walk up to a woman and say, hey, I don't want a relationship. That should be respected. A woman should respect that a man just told you the truth. A lot of women don't like to hear the truth. We don't, right? We want to make it our way. We want to hear what we want to hear. But if a man comes to you honestly and say, hey, you know what? I'm just out here to get my kicks on. I'm freaking for kicks right now. I'm not trying to have a relationship. That should be well respected. But a lot of men don't. A lot of men don't. And a lot of women don't.
Here's the thing. It's 7 billion, and now it's 8 billion people on the planet. About 4 billion of them are men. You haven't met 1% of the men on the planet for you to say a lot.
When I say in general,
you're talking about the small group of men you've met and experiences that you've had.
No, I'm talking about,
because here's the thing, because this is the flip side to that. This is the flip side to that.
Okay.
The flip side to that is that he doesn't have to tell you that you're going in the Amazon cart.
They don't.
Based on the ones you've been with haven't told you.
No. Wait.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish. When you first start dealing with somebody, they give you signs. So if you know that you can only come over that man's house once a week and you serious about him, that's a big red flag. If y'all dealing with each other one-on-one, and that's the understanding, you should have full access to him. So that's red flag number one. He's never, all of a sudden when I call him or I try to FaceTime around this time, he's never available, but I know he's not at work. You get the signs, but based on where you are in your life, you decide whether or not you want to look at the signs or not. So the reason why I made the video was for those people who don't want to look at the signs. It wasn't because it's a lot of men. It was letting you know, if this is the type of man that you bumped into, this is what's going on right here. Don't get in the Amazon cart.
Right.
I'm
So-
pro one. If you look at the content on my page, I make content. One, I have 3 daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and people are not gonna be out here playing with my girls. You understand what I'm saying? So I got 3 daughters, 27, 23, 22. My 27-year-old is married, got a 23-year-old and 22-year-old, and I also got a 25-year-old son. So you see me make content, understand that I got people watching me who know who I am and who listening to this stuff.
Absolutely.
But I'm also not going to, I also don't do it for likes. So I don't care nothing about appeasing women. The truth is the truth. And the truth is that there are men who move like that, and there are men who don't move like that, but there are also women who put themselves in that predicament willingly. That's the truth.
It could be the truth, like I said, on both sides.
It could be the truth.
Wait, hold on one second. Hold on, Yusef, because I'm gonna come back with it now. Okay, so it's not gonna just be one side.
Listen.
Go
No,
ahead.
hold on. I didn't say you couldn't. It just that
Okay.
when you say things like it could be, right? That right there, what it does is it diminishes what I just said, and it takes the credibility away. So you can just listen. I don't have a problem with you saying I disagree, but don't say it could be the truth.
What I'm saying, when you talk about women with red flags, that's what I was relating to.
Yeah,
Not
no,
what you was talking about. I'm talking about from women. It could be when women don't look at the red flags. If I would have finished, it would have been saying that the women, sometimes we don't. And sometimes, it's hard to identify what the red flags are. If you were accustomed to being treated in a certain way in relationships, sometimes they may not see that is a custom red flag. So that's what I was saying. It wasn't taking away what you said. It was just the fact when you threw out the red flag, I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more. Yeah. So that's all that was. So it wasn't had anything to do with diminishing what you just said.
Okay.
So I was just trying to get an understanding of relationships. What is your viewpoint on relationships now in society?
What do you mean?
As far as the dating
Specifically.
aspect. Just dating, the things that in our society when it comes to women and trying to get back out there to date. Do you have any
you're talking about for Gen X? You talking about
for Gen X,
people
just
born
for Gen
between
X.
65 and 80? Those people?
The Gen X, just any kind of information that could be used to for women that's getting back out into the dating world in Gen X.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot different for men than it is for women.
Okay.
A lot different. Because in Gen X, you have, obviously, the women are older now, right? Mm-hmm. So you're talking about people when they, people are in middle age. It is what it is. If you are a woman and you middle aged and you back out here dating, I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you.
Okay, keep it one.
Make sure that mentally you are in therapy for all of the decades of the trauma you done been through with other men. Because here's the thing, the men that you're going for now who are in their 40s, there are women who are in their 20s going for that same man now. So you can't come over here with this accept me for who I am. You got to be physically on point. So take your behind to the therapy, get in that gym, and make sure because you got a lot more trauma that's following you than somebody who's 25 typically. You got a lot more of issues in terms of abandonment or betrayal, failed relationships, and all of that can matriculate over and transfer over into another relationship. And it's going to be harder for you to get younger men because younger men have younger women to go to. And the men that are your age, they have the access to go up, mid, or go down in age. That's the difference. It is what it is. So make sure that mentally you on your JO. Make sure that physically you in the gym. Make sure that emotionally you have some intelligence. You cannot be responding to things emotionally the same at 45, the same way a woman will respond at 25. We're expecting more now. Financially, Well, here's the thing. When it comes to finances, men don't care nothing about your finances. As long as you're just not a bill. But we don't really care about your finances, right? And spiritually, just make sure just make sure you are aligned with something, a greater power, a higher power that you believe in, that you feel is going to hold you accountable one day, and on some level that kind of keeps your moral compass in alignment with what's good. For
Okay.
men,
Did it go out?
dealing with the younger women, for men who are coming back out there into the when they in their 40s, is a little different, because the roles have kind of changed now, right? So you heard me speak on the Amazon cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. You got that young girl, she might be 25, 26, 27. She got a dude on her phone with the what's that, the eggplant emoji next to his name.
Mm-hmm.
She got one in there. He got popcorn next to his name because that's her movie guy. She
Uh-huh.
got one with the speaking emoji next to his name because that's who she called and talked to when she bored. She got one with the money bag next to his name because that's who helping her with her bills. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she got one where he might just take her out to dinner, and she got to start in 5. And so you got to make sure you don't end up on that starting 5, because the roles have kind of changed. So you got the Amazon cart and you got the starting 5. So as an older man, you have to, that might not have been the thing when you were 25 and 26, but people have a lot more access to a lot more people now because of Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
And they don't know that that's not a real option in your DM. He just want to make you a BM. That's not a real option. They don't know that. He giving you attention every day. So they looking like, oh, you beautiful. I want to be with you. I want to say I'm willing to, fly you out. That's an option to a 25-year-old woman who doesn't know any better.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I would say for older men who, be on, and older men too, you got to kind of, get in the gym. Make sure you read. Make sure that you got something going for yourself, because, the younger women, I'm not saying that they targeting older men, but from where I'm from, is black is from where I'm from, it's kind of hard to make it to be 20 years old. So
Right.
black men don't make it to be 20 where I'm from. So you figure the young females who 21, 22, 23, a lot of their high school friends are getting killed every day. So that's why they're targeting, that's why they're moving up. And as far as like aiming higher as far as age wise. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So as a man, you got to make sure you stay on, hit the gym, make sure you take care of yourself, and make sure you have the patience, because it's different dealing with a younger woman than it is dealing with a woman your age. So you have to be patient. You have to make sure that you're on all top of your 5 as well. So that would be my answer. Make sure that mentally you're good. Make sure that physically you take care of yourself. Make sure emotionally that you're stable. Make sure that, financially as a man, you can handle your own and you can take care, because it costs money to date.
It does.
You understand what I'm saying? The average date gonna cost you, a few $100s, and that's on a light date. That's on a let's just don't really do nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So so for Gen X, I would say the forgotten generation, the underappreciated generation, the generation that's more about diversity than dogma. I would say make sure you get in the gym and be in therapy every week.
Well, I think, I'm going to speak for, I think Gen X, the way we are now is a little different with, our parents was back when they were our age. I think the average, 50-year-old, it's like 20% is in the gym, right? A lot of them are, well, more than 20% are in the gym. They are looking better than ever, I would say. But you're right. I mean, it's different out here. I would say that it's definitely different as far as when you're trying to date. You said what we're gonna do right now is take some calls,
Mhm.
right? So that people can ask you some questions. Okay.
Sure. I get man, I can't even count how many inboxes I get with questions, right?
Go ahead.
And then when I get on live, I be like, yo, y'all can call in now, y'all can, tap in. nobody says anything. I mean, in my inbox, it's crazy. Like the questions they be telling their whole life story. They ask you 1,000 questions. It's time. I'll be like, all right, well, come on, tap in. Be crickets. I'll be like,
I know that's what I'm doing now. They
don't
making
know.
comments, but it's like, can you guys call
I
in?
don't know.
Can I get you guys to call? Can I get a man to call in, please? I see you guys
Yeah.
leaving the comments. Like, can you guys just call in, please? Who calling in? Welcome
What's
to the
up,
Mz-Parkah
Shell?
Podcast.
Brave.
How you doing, Shell?
I'm good. Who is this? Say your name.
This is Brian Brock,
Hey,
D-Man.
Brian.
Hang
D-Man.
on.
Hey, Brian.
Hang on.
Hey,
We
what's going
lost
on?
Yusef.
Brian, did you have a question?
No, you know, Shell, I'm married for going on 10 years. I don't, so you know how it is with
I
me,
mean,
this,
but you
this
got a
whole
point of
date.
view, though, right? You got a point of
Oh,
view,
well, my point of view is no relationship is perfect. Nothing's perfect. There's going to be good days, as you know. It's going to be good days, it's going to be bad. It's just about having a communication with each other.
That's it. That's perfect.
Yeah, communication. I think communication and respect goes a very long way.
Well, let me ask you a question. What you think about social media in being married, Brian, for 10 years? Like,
We got him back.
Me, truthfully, I think
What happened?
social media is kind of I don't like using the word destroy, because that might be a very aggressive word, but it's kind of like destroying our relationship. No one wants to. I'm still old fashioned. I feel like, I'm 52 years old, so I still like meeting people, at barbecues, or if you're out at a picnic, or if you're just walking down the street. Those are the best ways. I still think that's the best way of meeting people, not on social media, because you're hiding behind something. You're pretending to be something that you're really not.
right.
It's kind of hard to pretend to be something face to face, because I can see you.
Absolutely. Yusef,
Oh, Yusef,
Brian,
yeah, I see
they,
Yusef is back. Yusef, congratulations on you working on your doctorate, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. And I agree with what you're saying. I definitely agree that people can pretend, when they get in front of this camera, they can just, and they can make a video, or they could post something and it not be them. I definitely I believe that we come from a generation where things were just more organic. Here's the thing. I think that what made us men was the fact that we became immune to rejection, right? Because if I saw a girl and she was pretty, I had to walk across the street and go holler at her. I had to get it. I had to have the nerve. I had to have the self-confidence to walk up. And if she were her girlfriend, that can be crucial. That could be crazy. Nowadays, all you got to do is just type in somebody's inbox and they respond. Y'all have a little conversation there. Next thing you know, y'all meeting up, where it really didn't take no confidence to do that. And that was just a photo of you that she looked at. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of, they say that we was, they say this generation was, basically they didn't really give us a lot of hope. They didn't put a But I think this generation, man, has the best of both worlds, because one, we're doing a whole lot better with this internet than they anticipated, and two, we bring the authenticity to the internet. Gen X brings the authenticity. Think about everybody who's an influencer right now, and go look and see how old they are. I don't care how they look. Go see how old they are. The people who bring true substance to it, they typically come from our generation. And I'm not claiming that, but I'm just thinking of people right off the top of my head. You understand what I'm saying? Who I look at and I'll be like, yo, that person right there is great at what they do. Somebody like E.T., the hip hop preacher. To me, I think he's the Jada Kisser speaking. I think that, Les Brown is older than us, but I think he's the biggest speaking. Those people bring, impact. Even when you take somebody like Gillian Wallow, those aren't 20-year-olds. Those are 40 plus. You understand what I'm saying? Who are making a huge impact. So yeah, I agree that, we are in a space where, you can kind of just holler at anybody, and it don't really take much. That's why I think we just built different. I think I'm be honest with you. I think, and I've said this before, it's going to be hard for a woman to find a real man, you know, who's 35 and under. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for her. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's going to be hard for her to find a man who has those principles, those morals, and who was just built during a certain time. It's going to be hard. I remember the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, the 10s, and now I'm in the 20s. It's a different conversation when I sit and talk to a woman. It's different. I'm not here to talk to you about a meme.
Mhm.
I want to know what's in your soul, because that's what's going to determine how far I get if I choose you.
That's it. I
You
just said
understand
that.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, I agree with the brother, and thank you again, man. Thank you again for the compliment as far as, me, getting the degrees. And be honest with you, I didn't go to school to get their degrees. That's why, if you notice it or not, when you mentioned in the beginning, I kind of I didn't really want to talk about it, because I said I don't even think about those degrees when I speak. I really don't. But to be honest with you, I didn't go there for them to give me a grade. Like, I know who I am. I went there to learn the majority's language.
Right.
That's it. I've never hung up a degree in my home. I have no degrees hung up, and I never will, because that don't make me who I am. I just went there to learn certain things like heuristics and understand certain theories, and you understand what I'm saying, cognitive biases, and what did I deal with, traumatic experiences, and how that impacted me from Erik Erikson's theory, from this age up until your 8th stage of life. I wanted to learn those things so I could understand what my family went through and what my mother went through. That's why I went to college.
Mhm.
So,
That's great. B, thank you so much for your
Man, I got your back, Shell. You my girl. I'm trying to push through my little issues,
I
so you know
got
how
you.
I go. Yeah,
I got you, B. I got you. I got you.
yeah.
Thank you.
I got someone. My wife works with some nurses, so they read my results before my doctor. I see my doctor on the 26th, so it's a little more issues than I thought.
That's okay. But
But
we not claiming that though. We not
nah,
gonna
we gonna
receive
push through it.
none of that. We not receiving none of
We
that.
gonna.
Right.
Yusef, just to let you know, my brother, I just got diagnosed with cancer.
okay.
I'm 52 years old, rectal cancer, which is right outside the colon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like you were saying, we need to take care of ourselves, us as black men, because I kept putting it off until stress kicked in, from the job, and the stress, have to deal with employees and stuff like that. It kind of, I wasn't sleeping at night and stuff like that. So I'm going through stress therapy, and I finally went to the doctor, and they just, then everything just started coming out, running this test, running that test. So why you not, so yeah, so I'm just trying to keep a positive attitude. Well, I'm not trying, I am keeping a positive attitude. I try to tell my wife, I don't start that crying stuff, because that's not what I need. I don't need you to cry. I know that's a feeling. I can't stop you from feeling the way you feel, but I need you to be strong. I need you to be that strong person I married right now. Because there's gonna be some days where I might be tired, and I'm gonna need you to be strong for me.
Yeah. You know something, brother? I really wish you the best, man. And I believe you're gonna make it through. Let me say this, man. I don't think people understand, how impactful stress is to a human being, especially when you reach a certain age. First of all, we all have these ailments in our genetic code. Everybody's born with a certain amount of ailments in the genetic code. It's just that stress is what unlocks the ailment, right? Not getting sleep. You heard the brother say that, not getting sleep. And another thing is that most of us, and I'm just speaking, when I say most of us, I'm talking about most of the people that come from where I come from. I'm not going to assume where that brother comes from, because I don't know. But in the projects, we didn't learn about food. They say that the two best relationships you can give a child is his relationship with God and his relationship with food.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get that. We didn't get, we got the relationship with God out of a sense of we need to have something to hope for, and something has to be bigger than this because this can't be everything. But we got no relationship with food. I know I didn't, because my mom was on welfare. My mom was a 19-year-old girl in the projects with a newborn. And my mom was on welfare. And so she didn't have so we didn't get that. And they don't tell us that, sugar, cancer feeds on sugar. So cut out all of the sugars. They don't tell you that cancer feeds on that. They don't teach us about, cancer fighting agents in certain foods like goji berries. They don't give us that in school. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't. It's two things I noticed they don't really teach us about in school that seems to be two of the deciding factors on if we live prosperous and healthy. And that's information on food and emotional intelligence. They never talk to us about those two things in school. Finance is another thing, but they never talk to us about and say, your emotions are going to determine how far you go in life, right? We never hear that. And they never say, what you eat is going to determine how long you live and things like that, But going through school, one of the things that I learned, man, is that we've been wired to die.
Mm-hmm.
We've been wired. If you come from the ghetto, you've been wired to die. You haven't been wired to live. You've been wired to die and survive until you die. That's just called systemic oppression. That's just the way it's been since the 1600s, man. It's just the way it is. But this Generation X, is very, very resilient, and we make adjustments very well. And we are a lot stronger than they think that we are, man. So, I heard a brother say, I don't know his name, he was on Breakfast Club, and he said, your other half will make you half of yourself or be your better half, and it sounds like that brother found his better half, man. So I wish you well, brother. And, congratulations on having a wife who's willing to, fight with you and be by your side, man. And I'm gonna really say a prayer for you. I'm not gonna just say that. I'm gonna really pray for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man.
B, I love you, right?
Man, I love you. See, I love you more, baby.
I
Sorry,
talk
I went off I'm sorry I went off the topic of relationships.
That's okay. You good. You good. I wasn't going to even mention it, but I told you it's going to be in my heart at the end of the show. It's all about you today. This is the first launch, so I appreciate you, B.
All right, Shell. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right, guys.
Yep. Bye-bye. Anybody else want to call in? Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Yusef, because that is a really dear friend of mine.
Okay.
Really
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Really dear friend. I'm just happy that he shared, not to switch the subject, but it is important that everybody that's listening, that you really check on your body. Like, you guys need to make a dentist appointment. You got a lot of bacteria that comes from your mouth as well. Like, start checking yourself, your feet.
Yes.
It's things in that shows diagnosis early, and we are getting older. And like I said, like Yusef said, a lot of that stuff is dormant, right? And I promise you, by the time we turn our 50s, we start noticing things. You probably didn't notice it in your 20s and your 30s, but when you start getting in your 50s, the things that's already been in your genetic, bloodline starts to expose itself. And you have to be mindful. Your teeth tell a whole story. People don't even look at the color of their teeth, right? You have to start looking at your bodies. And, not to say that a lot of men don't, but I know that, from the men in my family, it was hard for them to make doctor's appointments. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's called a Tuskegee experiment. Mm-hmm. There's a long history, when you have people, back when it was slavery, when you had women being treated by veterinarians, when you have men who've been tested on in these hospitals, black men tested on in these hospitals to see how long they could live with syphilis, or black men definitely have a long tumultuous history with the medical industry.
Absolutely.
So and that's why that's why we don't like going. I think that for me, losing so many people so young, and I think that one of the things my mom did was that she instilled in me very young to go to the doctor. So when I reached a certain age, it was I didn't know not to go because I was always going, and I just so happened to just continue that habit. But yeah, Black men, go get your prostate checked.
Yes.
Black
I
men,
was just about
if you're over 45 now, it's not 50 no more. You're over 45 now, go get that colon check. You understand what I'm saying? Check, start, they don't like to give you MRIs, start demanding these MRIs, make sure you get your brain checked out. Make sure you get these CAT scans with angiogram. Make sure you get with contrast, without contrast, check everything so you know what you're dealing with. Because a lot of this stuff is not death sentences no more like it was in the 80s and the 90s. Technology, has advanced tremendously now, and I feel like because as Black men, we don't want to go to the doctors. We don't get a chance to partake in the great part of technology. We've just been at the part of tech. We've always been, on the downside of it. And now it's advanced, but we still have those fears of the doctors because, and most times when Black men go to the doctors, we never see people that look like us.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're a little bit more skeptical of the doctors.
And I just, I wanted to say that we have a person that may come on from Northwestern Hospital who runs it to speak more about prostate and the importance of it. And like I said, I went to the doctor one time and I was working out and I hurt my back. So I'm sitting in a wheelchair because it was like a pinched nerve, and they put me in a CAT scan. They did a whole body scan. And come to find out, I had a little hole, like a virus in the heart. And here I am working out every single day. It was called an accidental find, right? So my thing is, guys, you just have to be mindful. Sometimes God, kind of gives you favor, right? Because had I not hurt my back, I would have never known that I had a virus, right? So I just want you guys to be mindful. Your body sends you signals. Listen to it because it is telling you something is wrong. So I didn't want to jump off the subject of that. I'm glad B called because I love him. And when I heard the diagnosis from him, it just broke my heart the other day. So, yeah. So thank you, B, for being transparent with that because a lot of men needed to hear that on the show, and a lot of women who have men need to hear that on the show. So
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yusef, I'm trying to see if I'm going to get anybody else to say anything to you on our call. Oh, we got a call.
We
Who's
got
on
one.
the call?
It's Taylor Renee again.
Hey,
This
we
is
got a
my
lady.
daughter. It's my daughter,
your
Taylor.
daughter?
Yes. Hi, Taylor. What you have, babe?
I just really think y'all doing a great job, and I couldn't agree more. Now that I turned 30 this year, it's crazy trying to figure out different things, like work through trauma, like heal within myself, learn who I am, with all the pressures that's going on around me in the world in this day and age. And therapy is definitely important. I know a lot of people that's around my age and a bit younger than me right now who don't work through their emotions. Like it's like emotions is something to be thought of as weak when you show emotion. And I've always been the type of person that has been told that I care too much, and I never could understand what that term really meant because I always thought we were supposed to care. I was raised by my great grandparents, my mother. So in that time, like we nurtured each other, we love on each other, we show our emotions, we express our emotions, we talk about how we feel. And I've been around so many males on my way to 30 learning that like they don't talk about emotions, they don't show emotions. Crying is something for the weak. I don't just venting is something for. So therapy is very important because I think in my logic right now is the things that's going on right now in Chicago with the amount of killings and everything. These people need somebody to talk to. They need therapy. Like they really need therapy. Within the music, they need therapy. Like everything is aggression, everything is anger, everything is hostility. Like nothing teaches us really, like y'all said, how to work through these emotions. Like no one ever talks about that. It's like something in the Black community that is a hidden gem. Like no one tells us how to work through these emotions. Right now, I tell my daughter that a calm mind helps her solve problems. So every time she starts to get frustrated and she gets like emotional to the point where she is trying to think with emotions, I tell her that a calm mind helps solve problems. So now she takes a minute to step back and actually observe things to get better results. So I think like that's the way to work through it. That's one way I'm trying to work through it, is pay attention to my emotions a little bit more and be more gentle with myself and take time. I've been the type of person that's always rush things and feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And with that amount of pressure on top of being a mom, on top of, you know, being within a society where you not like, it's not normal to care, which is the weirdest thing ever. Being in a society where it's not normal to be emotional, you weak. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. So yeah, I think it's very important that people have somebody to talk to. If you don't even want to go to therapy, just reach out to somebody and let them know, because that leads to other things: depression, mental health, anxiety, all those things, panic attacks. So yeah, it's very important to have somebody to talk to and to recognize what emotions and feelings you're going through in order to be able to tackle it and see how to work through it.
He dropped the mic on this right now. That's my kid talking.
Hey, hold on. That's your daughter?
Yeah.
So hold on, wait a minute, hold up. So how your daughter 30 and you 30? Huh? How you?
I told you that's that Gen X.
Hey,
That's that Gen X.
let me tell you something, man. Like, I knew you was part of my generation, right? But I really didn't put it together until your daughter just said she's 30. Yo, how do it feel to have your mom look like she like your age?
Oh, it's amazing. We so used to it now. We'll walk in the store and it'll be me, her, and my daughter, and they think I'm the sister and that my daughter is her daughter. We like, no, and they can't believe it. I love it. They say, you know how you gonna look. If you want to know how a woman
Look at her mama. Look at her mama.
And I love it. I got a great future ahead of me.
Hey.
I'm not worried about the thing.
Hey, I want to say something real quick about what she just said. She said something I think the listeners need to really, really home into. I don't want that glossed over. She said that I teach my daughter that when she gets frustrated or she gets angry, right, to deal with things with a sound, with like a sound or calm mind.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, a calm mind. I tell her that a calm mind solves problems.
Okay. What she just did is that she just pretty much helped her daughter have a husband, and two, she just helped save her life, right? Because when you stress and you get angry, you know, a lot of men think that being angry, right, is more about being a man. But actually, when you get angry, man, you know, your cortisol levels raise, and you have more estrogen and testosterone. So it actually makes you more of a woman when you get upset, right? When you teach somebody how to deal with something to calm on, you basically say that you don't have to overwork your organs, which means that you're probably going to live a lot longer, right? And if she has emotional intelligence, she's probably going to know how to deal with a man. She's probably going to know, okay, this is what this says. Okay, all right, it's not that deep, or you know what, this is that deep. You know what, but this ain't the time and the place. You know what, this is the time and the place, but I don't think I should be that angry to that degree. I can't be as angry with him as leaving cereal in the sink as I was for him not coming home. Something has to give here, right? And so I just wanted to touch on that. I think that's that right there, man, is something that I had a woman tell me not too long ago. She said, you know, I don't know how to control my emotions. Grown woman in her 30s. She said, you know, I don't have no control over my emotions. And I said, well, you just said you don't have no control over your life. Right? Mm-hmm. Right. So then why would a man put you in as a co-pilot if you're saying that you have no control? You understand? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So just to hear a woman who's 30 years old say that she's teaching her daughter that, right?
Yeah.
She come from a great tree.
Yeah.
Because that's not common. That's not common from my experience. That's not common. So congratulations on that, Mom.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
You know, see yourself. You know, the funny thing about it is people take, like for me, you know, they take if I'm slow to get angry, I have patience, right? I'll have a little patience. Now, that don't make me weak, right? And I think sometimes that's taken in the content from, oh, you just weak. Men respond because they, upset. I'm like, oh, okay, weak. When when you get tired, you tired, right? You invest and you do what you do, but I want to make sure that my daughter and my granddaughter, I leave like generation of, women that are slow to, anger, right? And to assess the problem first. And if you have to go there, you have to go there eventually. But my thing is, you'll know the situation at hand, right? I don't want them to just be over, just getting into arguments up front, because a angry woman messes up her household, right? Men don't want to come home to all the hollering, arguing, screaming, fighting, jumping up and down all the time. It's a way to, deal with things. And I know my grandmother's was very keen. They used to say, it's a way to make the man take out the garbage. You ain't even got to ask, right? And I listened to that, right? It was just a way a woman has power, right? She does. She has power in her conversation, in her movement, in her love, her gentleness. She has power and in accountability, right? So thank you, my daughter. I almost threw the mic on the floor. You just did an awesome job.
You're welcome. Y'all doing a great job, by the way. But I had to call in and indulge in the conversation as well. So thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Listen, just to add on what you just said, as far as like being, like being slow and people taking as weakness, I think only weak people take a person's patience as a sign.
Let me get the applause out. Hold on.
For me, if I walk into a room and it's, and you have a bunch of men in the room and everybody's, smiling and, chilling and relaxed, and you got one who like ice grilling everybody. To me, I was taught by my father to view that one as the scared one, right? I think that it takes a lot of strength to be, to be slow to anger. It takes a whole lot of strength to, hold a smile in this world. You know what I'm saying? So when I see a smile and I see patience, I automatically think strength. There's one thing I want to touch on, right?
Go ahead.
And as far as, I don't think that it's possible to date more than one person at a time.
Preach.
I don't, and no, I'm serious. And I don't say that, right, to come across as Jesus, because Lord knows I'm not perfect, right?
Yeah,
but this is what I will say. If you dating a man, well, you know what? Let me put it on me. If I'm dating a woman, and then let's just say I'm dating 2 women, not even 3 or 4, just 2, and the goal is I would assume that at this age, any woman that comes anywhere near you, you should be thinking marriage. I think that if you're in your 40s and you still using women as recreation for their vagina, I think you probably need therapy maybe twice a week, right? Because you got some things you got to work through, right? Because like I've been having sex since I was 11. That's not a real big thing to me as far as that. Like if a woman gets next to me, I'm thinking marriage. I'm thinking, okay, this is somebody I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. At 48, this is the person, inshallah, that I'm gonna be with at 68, 78, God willing, right? And so if I'm dealing with a woman and then I'm dealing with another woman, and let's just say that they even know about it, let's just say that they both know, it'll probably never get to a place where we can really, really connect and be on one accord. Because if I'm talking to her, if she says something that I don't like, and let's just say that, we go through something, or I'm feeling some type of way about something that she said, because every union is going to be tested. So you're going to have some complications.
Absolutely.
If I get off the phone with her and then you call my phone and I pick up the phone for you, you are now getting some of that energy. So there's a certain way you're going to respond to me now. That might cut off a certain part of you that I need to know for things to matriculate and go into another space. So I say, date one person. And if you don't want to do it for no longer than a month, then cut it off. But give that person your all for that month. Watch them. See who they are. Just focus, right? I don't know if y'all did this. I don't know if it was a Philly thing, but I know y'all my age. But back in the day, we used to have this little game we used to play, right? We had a piece of paper and we had a magnifying glass. And what we did was, if you had the magnifying glass on the paper, if the closer you brought it to the sun, the smaller the dot got on the paper. If the dot got small enough, the paper burned. It burned a hole in it, right? Because that's focus. That's really all somebody is online that's popping. They just focused in on one thing. They not all over the place. And so they bring a magnifying glass closer to the source. And so it's now starting to get lit. That's what lit is, right?
Right.
So it's impossible for me to do that, right? With two magnifying glasses, it's impossible for me to say, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to make two dots. No, something is going to always get started, right? So I say focusing on that one person, even if it's for 2 weeks. Be like, no, I don't like him. His breath stink. I don't want to be with him.
Feet stink.
That's cool. That's cool. But you gave yourself a chance to focus on that one person. Also, understand it's conditioning. If you've been dating multiple people for years, don't think you're going to meet somebody one day and just say, you know what, now I'm just going to be with one person. No, you've already conditioned yourself for variety over a long period of time. The same way how it's hard for somebody to come out of a marriage where they were just with one person and now they go out to date other people, it's really that hard to just say that I'm not going to date 5 people and go be with one. It's called conditioning. You don't walk into the gym and say, I'm going to lift 400 pounds a day. Your conditioning says that you can do this. So you start off with 75 or 125, 225, and then one day you get up there, right? That's conditioning. I think people need to look at relationships the same way. Everybody you deal with is conditioning you for the next person.
Absolutely.
Right? When you date one person. See if that person works for you. Because if you date multiple people, everything you do, you're not going to get the full me because she's relieving me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Commit to the process. Be fully committed.
Yeah, be
100%.
fully committed. Like here's the thing, Mz-Parkah. If I'm dating you, right, and then you do something I don't like, right, and I'm totally committed to you. No, we gonna have a conversation about that. I'm not feeling that. Why would you do that? I told you I stood against that, right? But if she's relieving me, I might look at you and be like, I don't really care what you did. Like it don't really matter to me now. All right, whatever. I was mad until she made me come twice. Now I'm not mad at you no more.
One foot out, one foot in.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's
foot
why I
in a whole nother joint. So yeah.
Huh? Would you say, Lauren?
Yeah, have another foot in a whole nother situation. One foot in one other situation.
So one. Exactly. One. And for women, definitely, you shouldn't be dating multiple men at the same time. You can't do that.
Cannot do it. I can't do it.
At the end of the day, we men. At the end of the day, we men. We want to be in between your legs. Understand that. That's the way God created us. He built your body for me to be inside of you. That's the way you're built. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So now you got multiple men aiming at that. How do you get to know any of them? You understand what I'm saying? And you can't let multiple be inside of you. You can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that the internet made it to where as though you can date multiple people, but I don't think people are really dating multiple people. I think people just kind of just being with multiple people is not really dating. I'm thinking dating courtship. I'm thinking that.
Court.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm thinking that. I'm not thinking you in my DM and then now you bent over in my room. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking I get to know you, you get to know me. I know the story about your mom, the story about, where you came from, your ups and your downs. Why are you the way you are, Mz-Parkah? What made you the way you are? You understand what I'm saying? So that's when I got past your breasts and your butt now. Now I'm really walking and talking with you, right? And I'm getting to know you. Because that's the you I got to lay down next to when I have a dream or I have something or I have an endeavor I need support and I'm getting that person. I'm not getting your breasts and I'm not getting your butt. when I need that support. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you can only find that out if you're focused in on her. Just one. You can't. You're not going to find that out spreading yourself out to 2 and 3 women. It's not going to happen. So.
It's funny too, because I just had that conversation and we talked about that. We talked about me right now, where I'm at in my life. I'm not moving. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to, when you come out of relationships, you need to take a minute. Like all this, jumping from one to the next, you just need a minute. You need to heal, right? You
Absolutely.
need to let things go. You need to let your soul heal. I want my soul at peace, right? And I think that for me, I see dating as situationships. That's how I see it. Courting is different. Now if you gonna court me because it's a purpose in it, right? If we, going to be, or we can see a future with each other, that's what you build for. I don't want to be wasting time, sitting across somebody and you just be like, you already know in the first 5 minutes when he opened his mouth that you have nothing in common, right? You just be like, oh no, I can't do it, right? I just want to date with a purpose now. And I think for me, a courtship rather, because I want to be happy in myself, within a relationship. I'm going to be whole within myself first. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to share that responsibility with anybody. Your peace is with you, right? You develop your own peace, your own structure, your forward movement in it.
Agreed.
But as far as a relationship, I'm not even looking. Let me just stop saying that. It's the courtship, right? I know what I want and I know what I don't want. Let me just put that out there. And I'm at peace with that, Yusef. If it come, if it don't, I'm still at peace with it, right? It's nothing that's moving me forward to say I'm in a hurry to get there. I'm at peace with it.
I agree with the fact that I agree with the part about the detox.
Yes, Lord.
Right? I agree with that part. However, the other part, as far as like if it comes, it don't. I don't agree with that. I think that I think God sent everybody here to the planet with a gift. He sent you here to use that gift to serve, and he also sent you here to love another person and let another person love you. Right? I don't want to go back to him not fulfilling all 3 of those things. So it's definitely intentional for me. You understand what I'm saying? It's not if it comes, it comes. Nah, I want to make sure that I do what I got to do so that I'm prepared, because that's what good luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So yeah, I want to be prepared, but I'm definitely going to create opportunity as well.
I think for me right now, when I say that, is the healing part. You know how you in that season and you just focus. Remember, you got that dot, right? I'm focused on that part. Because, getting a guy or a man to look at you or talk to you, that's not hard, right? That won't be an issue. I just think for me personally, I don't want that attention like it was. I wanted a little different, right? So I think for me right now, it's just the healing part. That's why I can't see past that right now. So I shouldn't say if it comes, it comes. It's just that right now, I'm not looking for it to come, while I'm in this season, right? I just wanted to be able to just heal. When you come out of those relationships and you take a minute, you find out a lot of things about yourself and you have to grieve that, right? Once you realize the, certain aspects in your life, it's a part of you that you grieve. You have to let that go. So it takes time to heal.
Agreed.
So I think for me, that's what I was talking about, not being able to put myself out there right now.
I get that. But I also feel like that for the people that are listening, right? I think that like we said from the very beginning, that healing is a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be loved at different parts of your journey. Like I mean, I know you don't feel this way. I know you're clear on your healing journey and where you are. Only you know where you want to be loved at on your healing journey. But I think that for most people that I've come in contact with, they say healing like it's like, something, I have to wait till I reach the destination in order for me to. You're never going to reach the destination of full healing, because I heard Les Brown say, you either coming out of a storm in one or on your way into one.
Mm-hmm.
But you're never going to fully heal. And I think that there's some people who are waiting to fully heal before they let love in. It's possible for somebody to love you where you are at right now in your healing journey.
Okay. Okay, Yusef.
Very true.
Okay. Okay. I agree. I know some people who love me.
And you know what? You know what else? You know what? Listen, so here lately, right? I've been so for like, I want to say for like 3 or 4 months, I just stopped caring about myself. I really did. Like, I mean, my parents was looking like I didn't really care about myself. Um, I just stopped taking care of myself. You know, I was going through a lot mentally, and I just, I didn't have that person around me to say, hey, it was just me policing my own emotions and, um, my energy, right? It was just me. And when it's just you start self-justifying a lot.
Yeah.
You start telling yourself like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you sitting with somebody and your breath stinks, she'll say, hey, your breath stink, right? You might tell yourself, is that my, no, that ain't my breath, right? It's different. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yes.
right? And look, even if you realize that it's yours, and you don't, and you might be like, well, it's just me. I brush my teeth a little later. You know what I'm saying? But with her, she like, no, you need to go ahead with it. You get right up and go brush your teeth, right? So anyway, I just stopped, like, for a few months. I just was like, wasn't taking care of my skin. I wasn't taking care of my hair. I always take care of my teeth. I think that's just it's just an ingrained habit of mine, right? But I wasn't taking care of myself, right? And I think that for me, I think your daughter spoke on it when she said about emotions and men not wanting to reveal emotions and being taught that this is a weak thing. And and I realized, man, I said, something, I was thinking about all of the things that stress me. I said, what stressed me the most? I was pointing a finger at a lot of people, like, you know what, you stress me. I'm about to block you. Like, I really was telling people that I'm about to block you because you're stressing me. And then one day I was just laying in the bed and I said, you know what stressed me the most? The things that come out of my mouth.
Mm.
I said, wait a minute, man. You didn't got into this zone where you focusing in on the negative things and then you repeating it. And you saying and you're giving it a lot of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I battled depression since I was a little boy because I've been through a lot of traumatic things. And like I never remember a season of my life that wasn't traumatic. This is my first season right now where I would say that hasn't been about a lot of trauma. And even we talking about the last couple of years. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm finally, is this book called The Body Keeps the Score. And the book basically tells you how even the things you went through at 6, 7, 8 years old are impacting your organs and your body and impacting you right now. You just don't know it yet because of that youth. But at some point, your body's going to say, remember you saw that day? And you're going to have, your heart is going to start beating fast like you're there at that moment, right? And I think for me at this time, I got to a resting place where I could kind of start reflecting on the things, and it sent me into a depression. Right. So what I started doing was I started doing small things just in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to say and act like it's been going on for a long time. I wish I had something near me, but I've been doing small things for myself, like just making sure I take care of my feet, making sure I take care, do little skincare regimens, things that I've been taught that that's what girls do, that's what women do, and I'm like, yeah, because they live longer than us and they look better.
We do.
Yeah. Think I want to do them things, but my point is that not just to talk about the self-care, but I've learned that, and me giving myself self-care, that now that people that I bring around me, or if I bring somebody around me, they automatically look to care for me because they can sense that I self-care. You understand what I'm saying? People don't typically throw trash in front of a house that people clean up every day. But if it's trash already out there and somebody just got done eating a honey bun, they just flick the wrap over without a thought.
That's right.
Right? So that was one of the things, I think that men should get into a lot of self-care, and understand that when you feel depressed, man, get into therapy, talk to somebody, You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of black men out here feel like wallets. We feel like wallets. We feel like wallets without a heart and without emotions and without feelings, because a lot of people have been taught that we don't matter unless we can do something for you. You understand what I'm saying? And then it, yeah, people say that, but I don't think people tell the other side that at some point we start to believe it. And so when we can't do certain things for certain people, we start to say, okay, maybe I don't have any worth right now, when it's not true. So to all the black men, listen, understand that regardless, despite what anybody's been taught to how to view you, that you have worth, whether your bank account says 0 or 1,000,000, you have worth, and you have a lot of experience. You have a lot of things you can teach people. There's a lot more to you than I need my cell phone bill paid. There's a lot more to you than, hey, I need my car note, or I need car insurance, or I want to go on this trip with my friends. It's a lot more to you than that. So self-care is what's been helping me out a lot lately.
That's good. That's good. Yusef. Is there somebody join the call?
Somebody's on the call. Yeah. Got a caller.
Who's on the call?
Hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda. You have a
But
question?
I just want to. Yes. So okay. So when you're saying about relationships, it makes a lot of sense, because in relationships we have to learn how to heal for ourselves in order to be better for the next person. And sometimes we kind of forget about that, because you're right, we don't need to be jumping from one person to another. We have to take time for ourselves as we get older. And even if we were younger, we still have to do the same things.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Linda.
Agreed.
And I just, and I was just listening to everything you've said so far, and it makes so much sense, whether it's on the woman's perspective or even in a man's perspective. I mean, I don't know from a man's perspective, of course, but as a woman, I do understand. And a lot of times we do go through these journeys of, what am I doing? Or how do I better myself through situations? And when you talked about the Amazon thing, I was like, wow. Definitely had me thinking. So I was like, well, wait.
I know, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't like that concept, but it made a lot of sense though when you said it, and the way you said it, it made a lot of sense. And some people may not even understand it or see it that way, but the flip side, it could actually be a woman with a man in the same aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It not necessarily just a man. A woman could do the same thing.
Yeah, I think we touched on that. We said, sometimes a woman, younger women tend to have like a starting 5 where they really, listen, I've seen a lot, and I've seen a lot. I've talked to a lot of people. There's really they really have this thing where they have a guy in there with a gas with like a gas pump next to his name. It'll be like a gas sign, and that's the person that fill up their gas tank. They got the movie theater guy. They got the what is that? I keep forgetting the eggplant emoji. The guy is like a starting 5, and I'll be like, yo, that's crazy. So, it could definitely be both ways. I just feel like, if you're serious and you're ready to be with somebody, you have to give that. If you don't feel like that person is worthy enough to have a one-on-one with them, then why even date them with other people?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you feel like, no, that person is not worthy of getting my one-on-one. And then listen, a woman said, she said not too long ago, she said, why would I, she was commenting on one of the videos that I made, and she said, why would I date a guy just, one-on-one, I'm dating him exclusively, and why would I tell him that? Then he would have no more motivation to want to put a ring on my finger, or he would have no more motivation to want to work hard to get me if he know he's already got me. I said, but there are things you can withhold. You can date him one-on-one exclusively and then just say, but you're not getting no sex. You can say, we not doing this and we not doing that. I just want to get to know you and I want to see if this is something I want to pursue. You understand what I'm saying? And I told her, understand. And a lot of women not going to like what I'm about to say.
Go ahead and say it.
Right? Now, here's the thing. Understand, the flip side to that is that he now has a right to say there's certain doors you can't walk in my home as well. Right?
Oh.
Right? So here's the thing. A woman comes to this planet with everything that she needs to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Men didn't come here with everything we need to be husbands. We have to go out and earn it. So if her power is her body, your power is your resources. You have a right to say, I'm not spending no money on you because you're not my wife. Just like she got a right to say, I'm not having sex with you unless you marry me.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? The problem with that is that it becomes now a standoff now. Right? And that's why it's called falling in love, not standing in it. You're going to have to take a chance. People want to date multiple people because they don't want to take a chance of being disappointed. That's what it really is. I don't want to take the chance of this person lying to me. Well, they'll lie to you now, or they'll lie to you when you marry them. But at least if you date them exclusively, you get to catch them lies early. Because there's certain things you're not going to catch if you got 2 or 3 other men on your line. You're not going to catch everything from this. I know women know how to multitask. But there's going to be some things that's going to get over on you because you got 2 other men on your mind. You understand what I'm saying? So dating exclusively benefits you.
Right.
That means you don't have to give up everything. And then if you say, you know something, we can do this and we can do that. But I don't want to do this. And he get to say, okay, well, don't ask me for nothing that costs over this. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not entitled to my resources because you have a vagina.
Absolutely. But it's a lot of women out there that think that.
Yeah, I get to say every dime I spend on you is a dime I can't put on this down payment to this home that my wife is going to want. Just like you get to say every time I let you enter me, getting something I only wanted to give my husband.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? But dating exclusively says, you know something? I wouldn't mind spending my resources on you because you understand finances. You have a lot of financial literacy. You seem like somebody that can add to what I'm doing. I don't got a problem with that. Dating exclusively says, you know something? I don't got a problem with letting you in my vagina. You know what? It seems like you'll make a good husband. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But if I'm dating you exclusively, that means that I got to see who you are. I got to see your characters. I got to see your character, your principles in action, not just stated principles, but I got to see your principles in action. So now if I give you this sex and it don't work out, I didn't lose. I laid down with a really good man that it didn't work out with.
Right.
I spent my money on a really good woman that it didn't work out with. That right there is the upside to dating exclusively.
Well, thank you, Yusef, for that, because we really needed the definition of that, right, Linda?
She went off. But,
yeah, I want to thank you, Linda, for coming on. Yusef, I want to thank you for coming on to my show. I really appreciate you. I just believe that the first guest is always the blessing, right? And I feel like you didn't drop some seeds here now, and the expectation is high, right? I'm not just gonna have anybody on my show because I can't. After you have really, really gave the audience a good synopsis of what we're supposed to be looking for in our age groups, right? It's as far as Gen X, getting back out there.
You're welcome. I want to say that I'm honored to be here, right? And I know that people say that, right? They be like, "Oh, I'm honored to be here." No, I'm really honored, right, that you made me, your first guest, right? I'm honored, and I think you deal with you have a lot of poise, right? You're very calm. You have a lot of poise, extremely intelligent, right? And I want to say this: your level of professionalism, as far as the emails, the detailed emails that I receive, And just oh my God, I was so impressed. I was reading your emails like she really got bullet points in her email about how this gonna go. I'm like, okay, all right, I like this. So I want to say thank you for having me. This meant a lot to me, and it's the reason why I did it during Ramadan. Is the reason why I still have not eaten yet. I had a few apple slices with some peanut butter to get on this call and this interview, because that's how much it meant to me. So I appreciate you reaching out. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for making me your first guest, and I wish you nothing but success, and I know it's going to happen.
Thank you so much. And I did mention that in Ramadan when I sent you an email, like, I know it's Ramadan and I didn't want to bother you during Ramadan because I remember.
I said, let's go.
I remember that day. Yeah.
No, I think that a law brought this, and I made my grip right before I got on here, right? Actually, it was a couple hours right before I ate. And I thank the law for this opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm really, really grateful. The same way how you feel, I feel that same exact way. All right. So thank you, Parker, for having me, and hopefully we could do it again.
Don't worry, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. I'm gonna blow
Part
up.
two.
I gotta blow up some. Part 2. Always a continue.
You already blew up. It's a done deal.
It's done.
Thank you.
You already blew up. It's a done deal. You already gone. Just claim it. That's it. Claim it.
I'm claiming it, Yusef. Thank you so much.
Good
I
night,
appreciate
y'all.
you. Good night. Thank
All right.
you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.